comfortable.
Okay, so glorifying, that word, you take a stance on that. Glorify, it means to praise or honor something or someone, often in a highly positive or exalted manner. Typically to highlight their virtues, achievements, or significance. It can be a way of celebrating and elevating the importance or value of a particular person, idea, or thing. So when you saying glorify, do you say that they are only talking about killing? Because listening to both of those guys, you might have a song where they talking about the struggle, talking about getting to the money, motivating and inspiring. Like it's a variety of music. Like even me, I might have one song talking about this, but then I got this song talking about my heroin and cocaine addiction, how I overcame that, where I am teaching and giving a lesson. You feel me? And I'm quite sure that as an artist, I think everybody have those moments, you know what I'm saying? Have you listened to any other lyrics from them that you could say, this is what we need more of, instead of saying, this is what I don't want to hear because this is glorifying to the kids and you sending the wrong message?
Absolutely. Both of those brothers, first of all, I'm a hip hop fan, so both of those brothers have multiple songs in their musical catalog that it's like, oh, you putting people up on some real positive game right here. Like, this is dope. These were the singles that they chose or that they record labels chose that's gonna come out ahead of the album. When you put a single out, you know this from putting singles out, you pick that single because you like, I really want people to pay attention to this song. The album got 17 tracks, but the singles is what I want people to.
This is gonna sell for right now.
Or this is gonna sell. So which master are we serving?
I have us talking about it right
now. God said you can't serve two masters. You can't serve God and money. So if you're more concerned about what's gonna sell than how God is gonna view you putting that out and creating that type of energy in the world with your music, then that's problematic. And I feel like I had a right to say that publicly if Cass is putting his music out.
I don't believe, because they got secular music now and the music is changing. Even in my church, they the sound and the beat is different. And a lot of older people who are traditional, the preacher talk about them. See, y'all can't relate to this pop, hip hop type beat of the gospel being spread, but look at these kids, their lives are being changed. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, bro, I just think, we have to like put more energy towards the positive things. And I think, like giving away those turkeys, that there are a lot of like hungry people out there, just as well as you giving out those shoes. Like, why we don't come together and highlight that as brothers, you feel me? We always got to tear each other down and focus on the small thing, because that's just a small piece that we could come to the table and do what we doing right now and have a communicated, situation where we can either agree to disagree or, you know what I'm saying, we could beef. You feel me? And I don't think
it's
none of
definitely
us
not
want
beef.
no beef.
It's
you
definitely
feel me?
not
But
beef.
even when we going back and forth, to bring it back to the kids, glorifying that the way on social media, even though you could be saying, I came in love. Some people might take that as you being sarcastic, sarcasm, you know what I'm saying? And, oh yeah, he trolling, he this, he that. It send mixed messages when we even go back and forth on social media versus us doing it privately, you feel me?
But what happened when you reached out to Rose?
You just gotta
He ain't
fall
reply.
back. I reached out to him, but I just let everybody know that I did that. You know what I'm saying? It was between me and whoever, you feel
Right.
me? I didn't get mad about it, and I believe time have its time, and I still gonna run into Ross when it's time, you feel me? I don't have a problem with nobody.
Oh yeah, me
You
neither.
feel me?
Me neither.
But I can't keep on going around saying things, and I don't got a problem with you because people see things different, you know what I'm saying? So I just let silence be the show that I don't got no problem with you.
I just think I think the music industry is a unique place because, once again, evil has a disguise and it's called entertainment. Because in the name of entertainment, and that's somebody's art, you're not supposed to criticize their art, or that person is already this successful, so you're not supposed to say nothing about that. What it allows is anything to be wide open. Like a lot of people talk about the state of female rap right now and where it is in terms of different artists, different females, and what's being pushed and being glorified. And it's like, if you say something against that, you considered a hater. nowadays. Man, that's mental manipulation, man. To be like, so you mean to tell me this could be done in front of millions of people out here in the public, but we gotta be quiet.
Now, you have a right to speak and voice your opinion, but, opinion is the cheapest commodity in the world. That's why everybody got an opinion. You feel me? Just like they have an opinion to say is right, you have an opinion to say is wrong. You feel me? And that's why we gonna continue to have arguments at, who's wrong, who right. You know what I'm talking about? How do we come to an agreement to say, you know what? We gonna both live here and we gonna figure it out some type of way, because it's not getting no better when we are both having differences and we're focusing on that. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Like, what'll be your way of getting the message across? Is it only saying it the way Dee said, or saying it everybody's way and we meet in the middle?
Seeing it everybody's way would require communication from the other party. And I don't mind that communication being public. Like, why do we need to have a one-on-one when the stuff that's being put into question is being promoted publicly? So the music is being promoted publicly. The persona is being promoted publicly. Mm-hmm. With that being said, let's keep these conversations public. Like, that's perfectly fine.
Exactly.
That's perfectly fine. But not everybody wants that, because sometimes people feel like the more that this conversation stays public, the more that I'm gonna sound ridiculous.
Well, after listening to both of you gentlemen snap, I had to come in with my 2 cents.
Please.
And both of you all are speaking from a free man perspective. As free men, it's easy to tell folks what needs to happen and how to live, because you're living off the grid as free men doing what you feel. I wasn't always a free man, fellas. Exactly. Okay, when I worked at the radio station, I was an employee of the radio station. We had these things called liners that we have to read. On one of the liners, it was "Get your jab." I'm not pro-jab, but that's what the liner was saying. Long story short, I became a free man because I didn't agree with the liner.
You didn't tap dance.
You said I wouldn't tap dance. So I say that to say, now, somebody talking to me and looking at me from the outside looking in, they'll be like, hey, man, why don't you just read the damn liner and go and get the damn jab, okay? But you have to lay on the sword for that. Every man's not built to be a free man. Exactly. Once you lay on that sword, you a free man. Every man's not built like that. Now, let's bring millions of dollars onto the table where you're taking care of hundreds of people in your family and friends, and all of that's on the line. Do you go in there and say, okay, I'm a free man, I'm going to do right, and my whole family going to be up the damn creek?
I think at some point we all compromise and improvise, you know what I'm saying? Just to live. I know I have sat back and let time fix situations, because some things are just bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to corrupt my character trying to save you because I have to save my own soul. And I think sometimes we get in a point where we want to save you and you don't want to save yourself. We have to sometimes mind the business that pays us, bro. You know what I'm saying? And your soul is more important than my wife's soul, my kids' soul. If they want to go to hell, I say what I say, and I got to leave it alone, because, God can only make it grow. You know what I'm talking about? I could just give it to you as if the Spirit gave it to me, and I did my part, and I feel good about that. You know what I'm saying? I think, sometimes we got to draw the line right there. When do we say enough is enough? My hands, I'm washing them with that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
when is your enough is enough?
Yeah. When is my enough
with this
is enough?
particular situation?
Oh, with this particular situation, I mean, I'm done with it. This is no longer about the people. This is about the principles right now. So I do think that it's a moment to be able to educate the masses, because now the masses are paying attention to, like, what's this all about? Like what's going on? This caught my attention. Now what's this all about? And when they see, oh, this man Dee-1 got a track record of 15 years of doing this same community work, from being a middle school teacher to now being a college professor to being a full-time hip-hop artist who done toured this country countless times, millions and millions of streams, just put his 10th album out called Uno, debuted number 4 in the world on the Apple Music, iTunes charts, 100% independent, and glorifying God and glorifying a message of be real, be righteous, be relevant in everything he do. When people see that, I feel like that holds a lot of weight, because now there's people who are like, whoa, it's possible. I didn't think it was possible, because we come from the trenches, and people that look like us, we think that it's only one route you could take to make it in the entertainment game and to be successful. And now that they're seeing this a man that's logical, this a man that is fact-based, that's biblically based, and that could spit. This would be different, Turk, if I couldn't rap too.
So do you want the glorification of the fans like Rick Ross and Meek Mills have for your talent and your skill, and you feel like you are not getting that, and that's the reason why you're doing it?
No, this is to educate fans so that the fans don't feel like we have to follow one type of leadership in this culture. And the leadership that we got to follow is certain rap stars, no names mentioned, certain rap stars who continue to glorify a lot of the things that are wrong with this world and glorify their material possessions, how much money they got, worldly wealth, all of this type of stuff. People who might have money in the bank, but morally they bankrupt. And I just want fans to see that we don't have to feel like, well, these are our heroes.
Exactly.
Well, I hear what you're saying with that as well, but then my question would be, when it comes to these artists, they got budgets behind them, okay? Outkast, greatest selling album of all time, it's probably good to say that they had a big-ass budget behind that album, pushing Speaker Box and The Love Below to make it one of the greatest selling albums of all time, not to mention that they were some of the most talented niggas ever born.
Exactly.
But with that being said, when you look at the music, when you hear what you hear on the radio, the labels throw promotion dollars at the radio station.
Exactly.
When it's time to push that single, Dee-1, I heard your album. But guess what? I like the one about you dating a little better than the one about God. So I'm going to pull, that's going to be your single, and that's what I'm putting my money behind. Now, I know you want to talk about God on 9 out of 10 of them songs, but that one song that it seemed like you was in love a little bit right now, I'm going to put $500,000 behind that, and I'm going to put you in everybody's house. So the question is, do we get mad at the artists, or do we get mad at the money behind them? Because see, the whole thing is when we start speaking, we got to go to the power. You see what I'm saying? And that's when laying on a sword and becoming a free man gets realer and realer and realer. You see what I'm saying? So when I'm on a radio station and I'm seeing the jab and I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to speak out against this because this is not going to be good for me financially.
Exactly.
It's not going to be good for me socially. Okay, it's not going to be good for me at all. But I do know I'm going to take a stance against it, and I'm going to educate folks, and I'm going to just have to go ahead and lay on the sword for myself for this situation that it is.
Exactly.
So I do, now don't get it messed up, I totally agree with you when you say, artists need to control the narrative a lot better of the music that they're putting out. But then I say this to the young folks that's coming up. We all grew up in the 90s. One of my favorite groups of all time was Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite songs was Mo Murder. Okay? That was one of my favorite damn songs.
Yeah.
Now, did that make me go out there and murder everybody?
Exactly.
Right.
Or did I just enjoy Bone Thugs and Harmony singing that?
Exactly.
Now, the question is, who the hell was putting the money behind Bone Thugs and Harmony to have me sit in my house talking about Mo Murder every damn night? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Then that's why I say, man, we can't put all the pressure on these artists and say they are the reason for all of this murder, because we have murder in music, we have murder in movies, we got murder in books. We don't know where they getting that murder she wrote from. You know what I'm saying?
I got an answer for that too as well. It's called poverty.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the
murder how we go.
Exactly. Poverty causes us to commit these crimes. We got a elementary school to prison pipeline going on around here as well. As an educator, you know how difficult it is. So now the question is, Do we go out here and raise hell and say, you know what, we need to pay these teachers more. We need to make sure that these teachers are getting paid 6 figures. I know these officers are getting paid. Okay? Now let's pay. I guarantee you, if a teacher was making $150 a year, your child is gonna get taught. They're gonna know how to say no to gangs.
Exactly.
They're gonna know how to say no to drugs because somebody getting paid $150 to make sure that they don't.
You know,
and I'm not about to lose my lifestyle because you want to go out there and ruin your life. I'm gonna save your life.
Exactly.
So in the music industry, the power structure is also an ecosystem. So everybody think about that that emoji on your phone, like the recycling emoji, right? Where it's like them three, it's like a triangle, and it's like them 3 arrows. Each arrow is pointing to the next arrow, and it's like a triangle, right? We're not talking about the power that the fans have. The fans have the power, if they really wanted to hear something different, to be like, nah, you could sell that to me all you want, but I ain't trying to let that in this household. You know what I'm saying? As for me and mine, we gonna be listening to something different. But the fans oftentimes don't want to take up the onus of saying, we want to listen to more of what we claim we want to see in the world. And I think that part of what I'm doing right now is sparking a conversation to where it's saying there's 2 unhealthy attachments in the music industry. It's the attachment that the artists have to these labels that clearly don't care about us. And when you're an artist that's like, man, I really don't want to be on this label, but they giving me $1 million marketing budget. So I got to stay signed to them and I got to work for them. I'm an employee. I'm not a boss. I'm an employee and I got to listen to them. That's an unhealthy attachment. We got to figure out how to break that. The second unhealthy attachment is these fans that are so attached to their favorite artists because they grew up on them that no matter what that artist does and no matter how much your common sense is telling you, man, this ain't what we need to be pushing to the masses, your attachment to that artist is going to make you still listen to it, still allow it in your subconscious to permeate your brain, to allow your kids to listen to it, and that's unhealthy. So I'm trying to empower the fans right now to be able to say, man, we could actually take a stand and want better for ourselves.
Exactly.
But we got to support that.
So that's why I say we can't put it all on the artist, because I done seen fans go more harder than the artists and put fan pressure. It ain't peer pressure no more. It's fan pressure. You know what I'm saying? You know what they tell me all the time? We want that untamed gorilla Turk. You know what I'm saying?
Is it me, my
You know,
nigga,
they
to be the
want that
thug
so
that I be?
Yeah. So I be like, damn, you know, and sometimes I dip and dab, and they be like, that's what I'm talking about. But then, you know, my spirit get convicted, and I go to like, man, I gotta, you know, bam. But at the same time, I also have to feed my family. You know what I'm saying? So it be like a, you know, I think we operate in fear sometimes of, you know, what might be our next $1 billion check. We walk around in fear, false evidence appearing real, you know what I'm saying?